You need to shut the fuck up.
Hey, motherfuckers. This is Minx. Suck my balls.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
put on your uniform right,
Expert Action Badge.
show up to work on time,
Expert Action Badge.
qualify on your weapon,
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your noble warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
This is Randy Couture, and you're listening to WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
How you feeling there, Mac?
Good enough to fuck your mother!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tied Up Tuesday. I'm your host, Minx. Down there is Great Cloud. Hello.
Hello.
You
Minx.
type super loudly, by the way.
What?
You type.
I
You're like,
I can't help it. It's the keyboard.
super loud.
Not super loud.
Unnecessary, sir.
You never know.
Never know what.
It could be necessary.
No, it's really not, though.
You sure?
Little column A, little column B. Dude,
Ugh.
oh my
Wow,
God.
it's
We
Tuesday. Holy
had
shit.
fucking dumb fuckery at work today.
Oh, come on.
Yes, no, true story. Dumb fuckery. Okay, so I work at a small hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4-room OR and 1 room for C-section, right? So today, the bed in OR2 was broken. Like, broken. They had to completely dismantle this bed in the OR room in order to get it out of the room. We don't have any backup beds. Okay, so that room got fucking delayed until one of our other rooms got shut down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we had all 4 rooms going. Well, 3, and then the 1 room didn't have a bed. And then we also had a scheduled C-section going. Wouldn't you know it, they fucking called a stat C-section when we don't have a bed for this woman. And, it was just like, what the actual fuck is going on here? Meanwhile, like, I'm scrubbing into a fucking total knee, and I'm like, who is going to scrub this stat C-section? The only tech that we have available doesn't do them. Like, you know, do I need to break scrub and go save the life of this baby? Or, like, what the fuck's going on? So that fucking happened at work. Like, it was just a whole kerfuffle of just shit. First thing this morning, it was unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary.
Oh, that might be big door. Shit.
What?
Oh, sorry. So you didn't let them see me go get my drink, and it might have been a big pour.
I didn't let them see that, you fucking alcoholic.
Not an alcoholic. My stock is right there.
Yeah.
It's just that easy. Makes it easier so I can reload, like if we're in the middle of a segment that's got me heated and I'm going through my drink a little faster than normal. So did you break scrub?
No, I'm not allowed to leave my room.
What? Are you grounded?
Yeah, pretty much. So like on Tuesdays, I pretty much get grounded into room 4. And Eric, the word was kerfuffle. I have no idea if that's a real word or not, but it is for me. And it just means a fucking shitstorm, I guess. I don't know.
Kerfuffle.
Don't question my word usage, okay?
Well, you say that.
No, you don't question it. But yeah, no, I pretty much get grounded into my room on Tuesdays. I'm not allowed to leave ever.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But it's all right.
That's just terrible.
It's okay. How's the new job treating you? Been there a week now,
not
right?
Not bad, except for, let's see here. The guy, it's a team of 4 and 2 of them start next week. So it's me and one guy. So I'm the site lead and whatnot. And he was late on Friday without really trying to get a hold of me. And let's see here. And then
You're not his
didn't
dad.
call in, and he didn't call in until like almost 09 on Monday. So I was like, what the fuck? But then today he at least called me at 06, before I'm at work, to let me know that he might try and come in today about noon, or he'd update me at noon. And 1:30 rolls around and he finally gets a hold of me and he says he wasn't coming in. And all I could think was, no shit, it's 13:30. There's no way you're coming in.
Okay, so he's pretty much acting like a warrant officer.
No,
what you're
because
saying.
the warrant would at least show up, drop his keys and wallet on the desk, and then walk around doing other shit.
Would they though?
Because it looks like you're there.
That's the trick, right? You got to make it look like you're there. Dude, oh my God, seriously, I'm 100% positive my XO used to do that when I was in the orderly room. Like, he'd bring in an extra, like, PC and, like, a set of keys and, like, would just leave him there. I'm like, all right, his shit's here, but is he actually here? That's the question.
And see, and that's the trick, is everybody's, I'll just leave my hat on the desk. No. You got to leave keys. You got to leave the keys, because that's the ringer. And then you leave your vehicle outside, because then they know you're like, where the fuck is he? His keys are here, his hat's here, and his vehicle's outside. And that's when you get a fellow warrant from another unit to come get you. Why we are talking about things and Army things and stuff, I want to give a shout out to Command Sergeant Major Michael Carroll, who retired today after 28 years of service to the nation.
Wow.
Yep. So, Sergeant Major, here's to you, and enjoy the blue card life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so I really wanted to hit really quickly this whole immigration.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, no, we're getting there. And like we're starting off early.
You're so terrible at this.
How am I terrible at this? Fuck off. Okay. I'm going to mute kick you.
Do not mute kick me. That's
Watch
very
me
nice.
do it.
Or not very nice.
Watch me fucking do it. No, because it's a hot fucking issue right now. In that, everybody is talking about it, and that's all over the goddamn news.
Yeah, that's all there is the fucking immigration shit.
And I'm sick of it. And
what?
so this has been going on for over a decade. And yet, because now we actually have an attorney general who is upholding the law that has been in place for over a decade. Now all of a sudden it's a big hullabaloo.
Well, yeah, because, the Republicans are in charge.
Oh, that's right. Son of a bitch. But no, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. One, why we're having to clean this fucking mess up when most of these illegal immigrants are coming from motherfucking Honduras and Guatemala. And there's a huge country in between Guatemala and Honduras and the United States.
Yes.
Which they are fucking just fucking hoofing it through, like walking like they're on a fucking leisurely stroll. Like, we're just gonna cross through Mexico because fucking why not?
Why not?
Why the fuck is Mexico not doing a goddamn thing about these illegal immigrant trains that are just fucking perusing their way all the way up?
Because if they let them peruse through, it's not their problem. That's why.
But they're crossing illegally into Mexico, which means who has tougher immigration laws than us? They're crossing illegally into Mexico.
I got it.
Walking,
but again, if they let them
3,000 plus miles up to us. But now, because we're following our laws, we're the bad guys.
Well, yeah, because the Republicans are in charge.
Right? And the thing that I don't understand is why people are giving such a big shit about, like, I get it, like, seeing people in cages, I guess that's, like, considered taboo or, like, is frowned upon. Whatever.
Depends on what cage is for.
But fucking, shut up, Xander. Don't tell me to chill. But no, it's like, they're giving, why are they putting so much emphasis on, like, oh no, the children, when a majority of those children are sent up without their parents. Like, their parents are like, good luck, and like fucking shoving them off. So there's that. And then 2, why is there no outcry about children being separated from their families for people who break the law and go to jail? Or soldier or children of, like, fallen soldiers and fallen police officers, fallen firefighters. Where's the outcry for that? No. Only the illegal children. That's the only one, right?
Right, because those are future Democratic voters. Or Democrat voters, sorry.
I mean, I guess.
That's what it is, and it's a soft spot. It's easy to manipulate those that feel for the liberal causes and whatnot, and it's more votes in the future, hopefully, is what they want.
Like, it's so fucking frustrating. For whatever reason, someone had put on CNN this morning, right? So fake news. But I loved their use of wordage in the title, like the little bar thingy at the bottom, and it was like, Trump defiant towards whatever. And it's like, that's a good word usage. But then I couldn't help but think, like, if this were Fox News, or if this had been, like, Obama, like, actually upholding the law, which he fucking did. He deported millions of people, just throwing that out there. It would have been something like, Obama stands strong against congressional pressure or whatever, right? Not Obama's defiant against them. Whereas, because it's President Trump, all of a sudden now Now he's defiant against congressional pressure, which is only being applied from the minority of Congress. So, I mean, is that really pressure? Or is it more like a fucking, like, gnat flying around your head?
What I don't get is, and I want to take your side on this point, because had it been a Democrat in the office and this law was being followed still, the issue would not be there, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, it would be exactly how you described it, is that they are looking to stand tall on this law and shit like that. But what I don't get is that, you know, they're talking about this bill apparently, and let's see if I can find this article. Fucking CNN's website sucks now.
Well, I mean, it's fake news, so.
Yeah. So the quick down and dirty I got, this was 10 minutes ago. GOP member, quote, Trump told lawmakers the crying babies doesn't look good politically. Well, no shit.
Right? You know, it does. Like, you know, but at the same time, I'm getting so desensitized, especially to that one picture of the kid, like, you know, crying, holding onto the freaking fence or cage, whatever. It's chain link fence. But, like, at the same time, like, it's being pushed in my face so much all over everything that now I'm just like, I don't even fucking care. Fuck that kid. Like, I get it. He's sad. And, like, you know, they cry out for their parents. I get it. But so do kids at daycare.
Yep. And so do kids who have actually lost parents that are U.S. citizens.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, and it sucks that, you know, their parents are putting these children through this. Like, so is the fault solely on the U.S. government and on, you know, ICE and on Department of Homeland Security? No.
If you listen to Pelosi, it is.
No, it's not. The fault is also shared with the parents of the children who put them fucking through this. They have to accept some responsibility that, you know, hey, you know what? Probably shouldn't have tried to come up here with my kid because, you know, they might get taken from me because, you know, we might get caught. But, you know, oh, we got caught. So, but now it's the U.S. government's fault that my kid is being taken away from me.
Because I broke the law.
Right. Aw, thanks, Sergio, for watching while you're taking a shit. Makes me feel good.
Wow. Yeah, I got nothing on that one. Holy shit. But that's what this story is pure shit. Just saying. So what kills me about it is, so here's the update. House Majority Whip Steve Scalise said President Trump supports both House immigration bills, and the message Tuesday night was to get one to his desk. Scalise says there will be gathering support Tuesday night for the House compromise bill, the more moderate of the two House immigration proposals. He said the compromise bill has a better chance of passing. So here's the thing about this, right? If they want this so bad, there shouldn't be any no votes from the Democrat side. Mm-hmm. It should be yeses across the board down the Democrat side.
Yeah.
So if it comes out and there's any Democrat no votes against the bill, then it's obviously an issue they don't care enough about. Because if they're truly bleeding heart like they want, and they want all these kids to be taken care of and blah, 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 then it should be yeses across the board, no matter what bill comes across the desk or comes to the floor for a vote.
Right.
So the one thing I'd like to see is the POTUS try to slip in his wall funding.
I think, honestly, that's what he's going for. You know, because if you think about it, he, as POTUS, is able to, you know, do an executive order or, like, you know, kind of put his foot down or fucking whatever, and like reverse this law, right? Or allow this part to be, I guess, overlooked, if you will, like it has the last administration. But he deferred it to Congress and said, no, you guys fucking deal with it.
Yep.
Because I want my money for the wall.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If it gets so, I would, man, I really want to see him veto a bill. Because there is not, what was it, 200 and some odd votes? 290 something is what it needs to get overturned. To overturn anything, it won't happen in the House. The Senate, maybe. Because the Senate's only 66 votes, 67 votes, depending to get that 2/3 majority.
But you need both.
But you need both houses to do it, yeah. So I'd like to see that happen. Slip that wall funding in there, and he'll agree to it.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that's what needs to happen. Is like some Republican slips that line in there. This bill will also fund the border wall.
Right.
And the president will sign it. Oh,
that's
shenanigans.
such an evil laugh. Oh, speaking of President Trump.
Yes.
So you remember Stormy Daniels? I remember her. I've never seen any of her instructional videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I remember her just from the news, right? So apparently she lost an effort to restart the lawsuit against President Trump. So adult film actress Stephanie Clifford, yeah, I'd change my name too, not gonna lie, will have to wait. Federal judge denied a request to resume her stalled lawsuit to get out of a 2016 non-disclosure agreement that bars her from talking about an alleged sexual encounter with Donald Trump more than a decade ago. So U.S. District Judge S. James Otero in L.A. said Tuesday the request by Clifford, who goes by the stage name Stormy Daniels, did not overcome the seriousness of the criminal investigation into Trump's longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen, who got a 90-day hold placed on the suit after pleading his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. So the gravity of the criminal investigation and the various competing interests in this action counseled in favor of a temporary stay, Otero said. Trump and Cohen are both defendants in Clifford's lawsuit. Stormy Daniels' attorney, Michael Avenatti, whatever, argued in May that Trump's sudden acknowledgement of the 2016 hush agreement with Clifford, which the president had previously denied knowing about, meant the case could move ahead without Cohen. But apparently not.
Yeah. And so here's what blows my whole mind on this, right? This is over a decade ago. He had an affair with an adult film actress, apparently, allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
And gave her money to shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal here?
I have no idea.
If I
honestly, I don't know.
I would throw this shit out. Fucking go away.
Yeah, because honestly, it was 12 years ago or whatever.
Right.
When he was not a politician. So who the fuck cares?
Well, the Democrats do, because this is what keeps them engaged.
What? Okay, so why do they care about this, but not about any of Bill Clinton's fucking sordid affairs?
Because he was on their side.
Double standards. No, this is not okay.
It's okay if you're a Democrat.
No, it's not okay. Because, for me, if you're gonna fucking go after one party for, one thing, you better go after the other party for the same exact thing.
But that's the problem, is that is what the media wants to portray in the news or on their sites or on their broadcasts and stuff. So it's whatever. And this is what leads the story. This is what brings viewers in, you know. But it's, who cares?
Right. I agree, Spanky. I don't care who anybody is fucking. I worry about my damn self. Like, if people want to have fucking affairs, who the fuck am I to judge? Whatever. If you're not getting it at home, fine, cool. What the fuck ever.
Oh my God.
Like, as long as it's not affecting my life, I don't give a shit what anyone else does.
Hear, hear.
Just saying. Fucking, ugh.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have to agree with Justin Brooks. The media is nothing but entertainment anymore. I mean, it's like nothing but reality TV anymore. Literally. I mean, literally. It's reality TV all the time.
Yeah. Fucking,
God, she needs to go away.
Right. So you remember Hurricane Maria from last year, right? Last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Yeah.
Last year.
And how it destroyed Puerto Rico, and how every single day for like the next month or 2 months or whatever, the mayor of San Juan was all over the news bashing Trump and how he was not doing enough. She is allegedly under investigation by the FBI for corruption.
What? No.
Yeah. Now, the FBI spokesman, Carlos Osoro, told Fox News that FBI San Juan can neither confirm nor deny the existence of this investigation.
Well, that means it exists.
Which means, like, everyone fucking knows, which means it exists, right?
Yeah, you put that out there, can neither confirm nor deny.
That's a yes. So the administration of the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico, who shot to international fame, and I think that is a bit of an overstatement. I don't know about any sort of international fame. She just became super annoying. After criticizing President Trump for not doing enough to help Hurricane Maria victims, is being investigated by the FBI on corruption charges, according to a local news outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Carmen Cruz, Yulin, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Carmen Yulin Cruz and her administration are under fire for allegedly obstructing critical supplies from reaching victims of the Category 4 hurricane that leveled much of the tiny U.S. territory almost 9 months ago. The FBI reportedly launched the investigation following a February lawsuit followed by Yadira Molina, the former director of procurement. Molina claims she was retaliated against for reporting alleged irregular acts to the local controller. Now, that being said, I'm pretty sure, I can't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure we talked about that on the show way back when and being like, the supplies are there, but they're not being allowed to be offloaded, or that they're in this huge fucking warehouse and they're not being allowed to actually get to the people in need.
Right, because she wanted to stage every time they got handed out that she was handling it and not anybody from the administration or none of the agencies that are responsible for those kinds of actions.
Right, but I'm positive, like 98.7% positive, that we talked about this on our show, Gray Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that she was fucking doing this. So I'm glad something's coming about. So on February 21st, Molina sued the city council after reporting alleged acts of corruption in the shopping division and the town hall under the administration of Mayor Cruz. According to El Vocero de Puerto Rico, I can't roll my R. Like, it sounds like I'm purring. If I do it like an R roll, I'm like... The report says Molina claimed she was punished for reporting the allegedly rigged system and that she was blocked from her right to report wrongdoing in her capacity as a private citizen, not as a public employee. Shortly after Cruz became mayor, Molina claims a supply company was granted preferred supplier status, which paid them more than 3 times what regular suppliers made. She also alleges that other city officials engaged in a corrupt scheme to steer business the preferred supplier's way. So concerns about Cruz are not new. This has been a growing backlash from frustrated residents who say they feel forgotten and say the mayor's personal political ambitions are coming at the expense of the very people she's supposed to be representing. Which I agree with. Freaking a lot of Puerto Rico is still, like, not recovered.
Nope.
And, like, to include
in
San
hurricane
Juan.
season.
What?
We're actually in hurricane season now.
I know. Hell yeah, we are. Friggin'.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how quickly this gets tamped down by other news outlets.
Yeah.
Because the only one that's carrying it is Fox right now. I don't see anything else on the Communist News Network or MSNBC.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, again, you are right. We did talk about it a while back, and this is finally coming that they caught up to her, or it's catching up to her, and hopefully they I want to see her go down, and it be very, very public when she does.
Yeah. I agree.
It needs to be brutal. It needs to be public.
Almost like a public flogging session.
That would be awesome. They don't do those anymore.
They don't. They should. They should
In
bring
the
that
U.S.
shit
or the
back.
U.S. territories, anyway.
They should bring it back. I'm just saying. They should.
Like the kid that got caned in Singapore.
What?
Oh, this is many years ago. Kid was caught doing spray painting graffiti on cars and some other stuff in Singapore. And Singapore's got some harsh laws, right? So, and he was a U.S. citizen. He was there. I don't know why he was there visiting or doing whatever on vacation, whatever. But they publicly caned him.
Wow.
Yeah. Like bare ass caned him.
Good.
Yep. And they were able to, with some U.S. intervention, they reduced the number of canes from like, I think it was supposed to be like 20 strikes with the cane down to like 8. So caning is a very, very unique thing. It's a piece of bamboo that gets soaked in some kind of solution, so it swells up. And then it is the strikes are done by someone who's practiced, and he's usually a master in martial arts with a weapon of some kind, and it has been known to remove flesh.
Oh.
Yep. So, yeah.
I was going to say, because caning has a totally different meaning in, like, the BDSM world. And I'm not fully ashamed to admit that I know what that meaning is, but at the same time, no. It's a hard no. Because this one is, in the BDSM community, it is a thin bamboo stick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably about the size of my thumb. And that is also hit on a bare ass by a dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis, how do I know this? Think about it. My show is called Tied Up Tuesday.
Yeah, Google that, but only on your home PC, not at work.
Right? No, do it at work. Do it at work.
Do not do it at work.
Do it. Do it on work, please. Google image search it.
No.
Do it.
You had a job. You had a job.
You had a job. Not no mo. Spanky will give you $3.50 to do it at work. Oh, she means to actually cane someone at work. I mean, I guess. Let's look it up at church.
With the sound off.
Right? I do actually beat guys at work every single day. I kicked my doctor today, actually.
You what?
I kicked him.
Why?
I don't know.
That makes no sense.
Well, no, he said something. I forget what he said. Or like, because I'm trying to really remember like what happened as to why I like lashed out at him with my foot. But I can't. I know I was sitting down.
Grounded.
No, I know I was sitting down and he came over and started fucking with me, so I lashed out with my foot and I kicked him. I don't know. Right? Oh, Joseph, don't you worry. I'll give you another.
Wow, that's a little...
Oh, no, it was great. So my rep today, my sales rep, he said something about letting someone in the back door. And of course, like, you leave the door open like that, like, I'm gonna barge through like the goddamn fucking Kool-Aid man.
Of course you are.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, damn, dude, like, does your wife know that you do this?
Oh my God.
I mean, but does she? I would hope so.
50-50.
Right? Hell yeah, we're into the back door. Woo! No butt
All right,
stuff.
so going back to the immigration thing, there was a meeting between GOP leaders and the White House. After the meeting broke, the White House announced that Trump had endorsed legislation negotiated between GOP leaders and moderate Republicans that promises to solve the border crisis and family separation issue by allowing for family detention and removal. That's fantastic. So they're still going to detain them and remove them.
Good.
But together.
They need to.
We will remove you from the U.S. together as a family.
Right. And which, I mean, you know, at least we're keeping them together, right?
Yes, because that's what everybody's crying about right now, right?
Well, I mean, that's what their big fucking concern is like, how dare you separate the family?
Yep.
And it's, all right, well, fine. So we're going to keep the family together. And actually, it was Alan. Alan said that.
Oh, my God. Oh.
You okay?
Oh, my God.
What? Are you
not so apparently one of the reporters trying to cover this was Mr. President, don't you have kids? They yelled as Trump walked away. Don't you have kids, Mr. President? It's not the America we know, and it's not biblical. Referencing past remarks by Attorney Jeff Sessions defending the policy as start of settled U.S. law. Oh my God.
What person is unaware that President Trump has children?
I don't know, but why would you ask that? Because his children were born in the U.S.
Right.
I'm just saying this is not an issue for those of us who were born in the U.S. with kids or had kids born in the U.S.
I'm so sick of this whole immigration thing because it completely, like, I was talking to a friend of mine that I've known since fucking 5th grade. He's Air Force, and he came over to visit a few weekends ago. He and his family, they immigrated here from Asia. I'm trying to think of the country. Not China.
One of those Asian countries, yes.
Yeah. Shit, I feel terrible. Like, I just had it. Fuck. God damn it. But, he became a naturalized citizen.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, his family moved here legally. And it fucking completely devalues, like, they get angry.
Mm-hmm.
And all the legal immigrants get fucking pissed about these illegal immigrants fucking just getting away with what the fuck ever. Right? And that there's
Right.
no real consequences of, Taiwan, that's it. Taiwan. Thanks, Alex. But it's super frustrating for them.
Yeah.
And how the majority of these issues that is going on right now would be gone if they came here the right way.
Right, but that's, hard and costs money, and they don't want to do it the right way because, whatever, and they'll be supported by whomever.
Right. I like how there was that one interview at the White House with that blonde lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
How she was like, we are providing them with food and with shelter, and we're giving them schooling, we're giving them medical care. Like, what the fuck else do you want us to do? And she even made it a point that the majority of these children locked up in cages were sent here without family.
Imagine that. But that's not being covered, is it?
No. Everyone wants to forget that part. Is that, when these kids are crying for their mom and dad, it's probably because mom and dad are still in goddamn Honduras or Guatemala. Just saying.
Maybe they're mules.
Right? And that's another thing. What if they've got drugs in them?
Well, let's hope that the the balloons don't burst.
Right? Oh, God.
Because it's over at that point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. What are Mexican immigration laws? Nobody knows.
They're stricter than ours.
Yeah, nobody cares because they're not us.
But there's...
And that's the other problem is that, right? So everybody wants, this is accepting land, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, we're not the only ones facing an immigration crisis in the world.
Fucking Chris. Left is all about human trafficking, but when you stop the human trafficking, autistic screeching.
Because, future voters. Oh my God, fucking shit.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
God. Make it stop. Crazy. Anywho, as he's fucking around with that, what else can we talk about? Since Grey Cloud's busy. Oh, the Army. No, let's talk about this. Fuck it. We'll save the Army story for, our third hour. Oh, you're back. Good.
Yeah. Stupid microphone.
So, Bardstown, Kentucky, right? That's Kentucky. Was a Bardstown man was charged with impersonating a police officer because it's a crime to impersonate a police officer. I don't know if anyone else is aware of that, but
Yes.
stolen like law enforcement valor is a thing and it's punishable by the law. So apparently a Bardstown man was attempting to pull someone over when he was pulled over by an actual police officer.
That's awesome.
According to the arrest citation, Tyler James Boynton Van Atten. Oh, God. That's
What
a
the
mouthful.
fuck kind of name is that?
I don't know. Pulled up behind a driver on West Broadway Avenue in Bardstown just before 01. Police say, Van Atten was displaying flashing LED lights in his dash and was operating a siren. The driver of the car in front of this dude called the police, and a third driver who witnessed it all pulled up behind Van Atten to corroborate his story when the police came. When the police got on scene and approached Van Atten's vehicle, they saw he had a bronze badge in the car that said Commissioned Special Support Dog ID Partial Access. So Van Atten admitted he did not have a support animal with him. He was charged with 1 count of impersonating an officer of the peace.
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
I'm not sure.
Hold on, let me go to the Googles.
I was gonna say I need to go to the Googleizer.
The Googleizer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's people that specialize in this charge.
Wait, what?
Oh shit! So I put the Google right. Do you need a lawyer? If you have been charged with impersonating a police officer, an experienced criminal defense attorney can advise you on your legal rights and defenses.
Wow.
Apparently, this happens a lot.
What the fuck?
Oh, let's see what.
Is it a felony or a misdemeanor? I'm
I'm looking.
Waiting. I'm impatient.
We know.
If you only knew the extent, though. Everyone's saying they think it's a felony.
Everybody thinks it's a felony.
Yeah. Are we putting money down on this bet right now, y'all? And if so...
Let's see what California says. Hold on.
Oh, rude.
But I'm just saying that's the first one. That's the first hit. California Penal Code Section 538 Delta. PC, impersonating a peace officer.
Okay, but is it a felony?
Hmm.
Read faster, Chief.
Misdemeanor level offense.
Son of a bitch.
This is California. Those convicted can be sentenced up to 180 days in jail, extensive court fines, mandatory community service, or community labor, and any other conditions of probation that the judge may deem appropriate.
I think it should be worth more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there you go, misdemeanor. Woohoo! No, that's legal as long as you're not trying to arrest anybody on the street.
Right.
Cause.
Is
So
the
you can
slutty
still wear.
police officer costume illegal? I think only if you try to pull someone over while you're wearing it, cause.
Well,
There would be questions asked as well, such as, "Excuse me, sir, why are you wearing a skirt that shows your
there
ass?"
was that one vet who convinced the 2 female officers to have a threesome with him.
Oh, right?
Just saying.
Did they actually do it, though?
I don't know. I never read the whole article. I just was very entertained by the
What?
headline.
Oh, my God. No, you cannot leave me hanging on this. I need to know if these hookers
Hold on.
actually did it. Because if they did, that's amazing. Like, obviously, they must have been just, like, chomping at the bit to get laid. Or, oh, no. Because, what if the way he got them is if, like, they came over to, give him a citation or whatnot, and he had his dick just hanging out in the wind, and they were like, "Oh, all right, yeah, we'll fuck you."
Cause is saying it's a fake story.
Ah, son of a. You can. Right? This sounds like a movie Spanky saw. It sounds like an instructional video I've seen as well.
Oh, yeah. Do not Google that. I'm just saying. There's some interesting links that come up right away. So let's close that out.
Are you sure?
Meh. He told officers he was Space Force and their clothes flew off.
Hell yeah, they did.
Space Force, here it comes.
Oh my god, dude. Fucking Space Force.
We talked about that. Spaceship door gunner is coming.
I know. Ice and Flash talked about it extensively last night.
Well, because this is Ice's last chance to go into space as the Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major in the Space Corps.
He hasn't gotten picked up yet. Oh my goodness.
Sergeant Major Ice, Space Corps. Oh my god, Spaceballs.
Oh, I love that movie.
Only one would dare use raspberry jam.
Oh my god. Ridiculous. All right, y'all. It is. Wow.
Lone Star.
Gray Cloud is dying. Oh my god. I need you to breathe, dude.
Oh.
Oh my god.
We ain't found shit.
Dude. Wait, do that retarded seal clap. There it is. Yes. Anyways.
Well, anyways.
It's like I was saying.
I just saw the way of the seal clap. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Are you okay?
I think so.
Are you sure?
Yes. Whew. Whew. Okay. Anyways.
Breathe.
So we have a guest coming up, right?
We do.
We do.
You talk about it. I need you to calm the fuck down.
Hold on. I gotta pull up my cut sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, our guest is Rob Neal from the Facebook page of Bay Pines Exposed, retired employee from the Bay Pines VA. Will be on to talk to us about mistreatment of vets at the Bay Pines VA. Bay Pines VA has been in local and national news several times for their neglect and mistreatment of veterans. So stay tuned for our second hour when we have Rob O'Neill on with us, and it's gonna be a really good interview.
Yes, definitely. All right, y'all. We will be back here shortly, and yeah. It's great. Fucking ridiculous, dude.
Alex, I almost lost my scotch because of that.
Almost. Dude, you're
Mog.
fucking
Half man, half dog.
retarded right now. We'll be back.
In the fire, give to your own desire and lose the life that we made. What hurts the most is how we live to boast about the ones we betrayed, and we're gone. We know the end is here. Don't try to fight it. What you've We know the end is here. Don't try to fight it. What you've been waiting for, there's no running away. We paint the mirror to try to hide it. There's no disguising the truth, and there's no running away. No running away.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I wake up early, about noon. Gotta get it together, I gotta stay in tune. Seems time's against me, but I hate to rush. Gotta keep it between the lines until I hit the dust. I gotta buy some time. The key to freedom lies across the state line. It's a daily ritual, this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again. Bloodshot eyes. It's a daily ritual, this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again, driving on the roads we know. Just like this life that I lead, it might not take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere. Like this life that I lead, it might not take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tied Up Tuesday on June 19th, 2018. Goodness. Welcome back, everybody. We have got Rob O'Neill on the show with us. Hello, Rob.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great, I'm doing fantastic, and I just want to say thanks for having me on tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Thanks for
Listen
coming
to
on
the show a lot, and I'm a big fan, and I know a lot of other veterans are that I know of, and listen to your show, and they are big fans also, and I know they are listening tonight.
I hope so. So you help run the Facebook page Bay Pines Exposed, right?
That's correct. I'm a co-administrator, yes.
All right, and we got a few weeks ago, we got that story from you guys about who was it? The union president who made a rather racist Facebook comment or post. And
yes, she did.
Nothing was really done about it.
No, I can tell you from my understanding. I'll start from the beginning and how it all happened. Is my buddy, co-partner of the page, Keith Hansford, he was out there with his signs out in front of the VA one day, and all of a sudden this post comes up that posted our union president, Local 548. Her name is Tish Thomas. That post came up, and I said to Keith, I said, should we go with this? What do you think? Because we kind of run stuff back and forth on each other, just to make sure, we're doing the right thing on some stuff. So we said, yeah, let's go with it. Someone else posted it to our page, so we let it go, and within about 3 hours, a local news media picked it up, as well as some other sites, and we were getting phone calls from different reporters, and what do you know about this stuff? Well, so what we found out is she had made the post. She had gone on to our site that afternoon and actually admitted it. We have those screenshots that she admitted it, that she had authored that post. And come to find out, the local newspaper did a background. They were just digging around with her name. They did their own story with this. They found out that this union president had received a free house for low-income single mothers way back in about 2002, 2003 timeframe. That she was given a free house by some football players from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the time. And that just got a lot of ire from folks because she was still working at the VA, drawing a salary at the time. So that drew a lot of ire. Now, my understanding was to bring up the speed. Currently, some of the rabbis that I know at Bay Pines still tell me things that she was asked to resign and declined. And that is the last thing that I know about that and that I heard of about that situation.
Wow. Because I remember reporting her salary. She makes good money. So.
Oh yes, well she's filling, and veterans and folks need to understand this, that she's just not filling a union position. She is also filling a union position and a VA full-time employee salary position. That a job she does not do. So, in other words, she's taking away from a job some veteran could have by her keeping, they have to keep her on the books.
Yeah. As
a full-time union person, but she's also taking a full-time job away from somebody else. In the VA, they call it an FTE, which means full-time employees. So she's eating that slot as well as drawing $20-some thousand on a union salary. So, she's drawing pretty good money to sit there and do things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Which a lot of people, don't agree with. I'm hearing some rumblings going on our page. We get a lot of folks that don't want to. They come on our page that are, they stay anonymous. We know who they are. We don't put the names out there. They ask us not to in fear of, some sort of retaliation, things like that. They say this girl's got to go. They tell us things that, she's got to go. She doesn't represent me. And look at it this way, guys. Look at it this way. You're paying union dues, okay, for a company you're working at, okay? Now, how do you know if somebody made a racial statement like that? And that's her business. If she wants to say that, that's her thing. But how do you know you're not being represented properly, though? If she has those views, no matter what views they might be, or somebody or anybody, regardless of skin color, I'm not looking at it that way. But what if somebody is not representing you properly like that because they have certain views they may against you, your race, your color, your creed, your ethnicity, and all that, your skin color, your hair color? How do you know you're not being represented properly? And that's the big question down here now. A lot of folks are coming out saying, hey, I'm a white female, I'm a white male, I'm a Caucasian male. And I had a case, I brought a case to her 2-3 years ago, and how do I know my case was not handled properly with management? How do I know it just didn't get thrown in the dumpster and, and that was it, or shredded or stuff like that? So my understanding, someone I did talk to, they counted up to about, my understanding, maybe between 450 and 500 cases they may have that may have happened to. I can't quote a specific number, but that's from a source that I know of, that I was told.
Crazy. So what else has been going down at the Bay Pine VA healthcare facility?
Well, there's a couple things. There's quite a few things here. One of my buddies, Keith Hansford, he runs the site also. When he was an employee there, I worked with him also, and he came into some information about some surgeries, some delays in surgeries, some unnecessary surgeries that were being done. So what Keith did, he went and reported this at the time, to the facility director, okay, and say, hey, look, this is what documentation I have. I'm just letting you know this is going on. So do what you do, go ahead and take care of this. I'm just letting you know. Nothing was ever done with that. All of a sudden, he was then, shortly then after, placed under targeted, for retribution, retaliation, and he was ran off the job shortly then after for bringing that issue forward. Other issues, other things were going on, and the big one I'm sure you heard of was the dead body that was left in the closet. I'm not sure if you know about that one.
No,
Now, that made national news maybe about a year ago. Now, I can tell you this one. There was a hospice patient, a veteran. He was in hospice. He passed away. Instead of taking him down to the morgue, they just stuffed him in the closet and left him there for 9 hours. And they had shift change. Forgot he was there. The next shift came on. Discovered the body was stuffed in the closet for about 9 to 10 hours. And that's desecration of a veteran. It's an American hero, okay? And to do that, if that was my father, your father, anybody's father, I would be very, very traumatic. I'd be disgraced at that VA, and they still continue to allow things, and that stuff happens at that VA, and there is no oversight on any of that stuff that happens. Just over and over and over again. And I got piles of paperwork I'm looking at in my hand right here. I could just go through this stuff all night with you, day in and day out. And I'll let you know I worked there for about almost 18 years. So when I left there, I just got papers and papers and papers and all kinds of things that go on down at that place. And that poor veteran, just imagine what his family must have thought,
Right?
Just sitting down there. And we, our group went ahead and got a hold of Congressman Gus Bowrakis. He's our local here in Pinellas County down here in Florida. He got involved in this thing, and pretty much what their findings were with this thing is just, it's unacceptable. It should have never happened.
It absolutely
There has to be some sort of something that it shouldn't happen.
Like,
you leave a body in there, they're decomposing there in the closet. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Like, was he like literally pretty much stuffed into a closet, like almost like a broom cupboard? That's ridiculous.
Pretty much just like a closet, like a wall locker type. They just move them in there and let them go, and they forgot all about them. Yeah, it's horrible, and it's disrespect to that veteran, and the family.
Like, yeah,
and
I mean, it's disrespectful just in general. Like, you take away, the veteran status, the veteran title, and
sure.
It's still
just anybody.
Fucking absolutely terrible and uncalled for, unprofessional. Everyone on that shift should be held accountable for what happened.
Yeah. So what our group did, we FOIA'd the report. It was a 24-page hospital report issued last year in April, heavily redacted. I think they used all the ink and the marker, maybe the whole package they got, heavily redacted. We got the copy of it, through the FOIA investigation. They interviewed more than 30 witnesses. Now, in the hospice at nighttime, you may have maybe 3 or 4 people working. But somehow they interviewed 30 people. I don't know how they done that. I don't know how that worked out, or they were able to do that. But anyway, long story short, they blame that on staff shortages. That's where this thing they run a 24-hour operation up in hospice, and they blamed it on staff shortage, and that was it.
Right. Okay. So.
And they forgot and they blamed it on the handoff and nursing. If you're a nurse, nurses out there know you have to hand off things.
Yeah.
Your patients. This is what where we're going, and they just forgot the dead guy. They just left him out there, and that's that.
Okay. Like.
That's how they operate down there.
Like I work at a hospital. I understand shift change. You give a report. Right? So, literally, your relief comes in at least 30 minutes before technically their shift starts. So that way they can receive report on their patients, right? And then especially if you work in hospice, that's where people go to die.
That's right.
So, hospice, you're expecting to get a death report during shift change, because you're like, okay, how much longer does this dude have? Is he comfortable? Is she comfortable? Is there death pain being managed or fucking whatever? But
you got it.
It's kind of a big deal to be like, oh yeah, I may have forgotten to tell you about the dude that died, and I didn't really know where to put him, so I just threw him in his wall locker. Right? Is that is that the proper protocol?
No, that's not in the SOP, right? It's not in the SOP. Now, you're in a hospital, right? Now, you understand JACO and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the JACO come in people. They are your inspectors. They're the ones that can shut you down.
Yeah, we just passed that actually.
Right.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And these JACO in the VAs and only in the VA side of the world, when you got the JACO come in, it's just pencil whip walking around, and they kind of show them, oh, Mr. JACO guy, look over here. Don't worry about that stuff over there, but just look over here. We're okay. That's how they run it in the VA system. That's how it's run there. I got another good one for you too. Back in December in Florida, it was. I don't know how cold it gets for you guys, maybe a little up north, but, when it gets in the 40s and 50s in Florida, that's pretty cold for us, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cold, right? So I get a phone call one day from one of the local news reporters. His name's Steve Andrews, one of the Channel 8 affiliates. So he calls me up one morning and says, hey, Rob, I got a report that the VA, the domiciliary, which is a substance abuse treatment program, they have inpatient therapy, people, coming off drugs, alcohol abuse, substance abuse. It's a live-in building. I think they have maybe 60 to 80 beds, I believe. Long story short, he calls me up and says, hey, but Rob, there's no heat in the building. They have had no heat for like 3 days, and it's like 40 degrees out. I said, no heat, really? And he says, yeah, and there's no hot water in the building either because the steam line broke and they won't fix it. The VA won't pay for it until next quarter, until the, fiscal dries out and they can start over when the money comes fresh in again. With fiscal, that's how the government works.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, let me make some phone calls. I'll get back to you. So one of our buddies went down there, got some information, got some photos of that thing. We had that thing on TV that night. The congressman, Congressman Gus Bill Rackus, got so pissed off about it, went down to the VA 9 o'clock that night and got a hold of that director and got a hold of the VA secretary, Shulkin, that hour, and said, your building has no heat. You got about 40, 50 people staying in that building with no heat. Why? And how long have you known that they were in this building with no heat? And you know what the answer was? At the bottom line, they known about it for 2 months, but never fixed it because they didn't want to spend the money. And they wanted, like I said before, they wanted to wait until the new fiscal year started so they can use that money. So they let these guys freeze, and they put showers on the outside parking lot where they can go out and get a shower. They put a little mini shower. If you're in the military, you're deployed, your showers, you're outside somewhere. That's how they had these guys set up and girls set up to go out, walk out, 30, 40 degree weather to go get a shower and deal with it that way. And that went on for weeks.
What the fuck?
That's absolutely uncalled for. That's almost
now. I'm going to tell you,
medical malpractice.
This is the same director. Oh, sure. This is the same director running this stuff. Everything I've told you and will tell you, this goes back to the same director. Now, I did hear something interesting. I don't know if you heard this. I was listening to Sean Hannity the other day, and they were specifically talking about SES employees. Now, your SES employees are your directors, your hospital directors. They're called Senior Executive Service, pretty much that club when you get into it. And what he was saying, I was listening, and I'm kind of like a politic junkie. I like that kind of stuff. But anyway, they were talking about this SES thing, and they said between the SES levels, there is absolutely zero oversight. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this is probably why this kind of crap happens, because there's no oversight for these folks. Oh, there's no hot water in the building? Who cares, right? I go home, And you guys can go on our page, Bay Pines Exposed on Facebook, and we have these videos. We have the videos. We have the interviews of the director from the local news and the congressman and all that. If you want to get to that, at some point later on down the road and take a peek at all that, it's all out there, And this is what they're doing to these vets. They don't care about these vets. Being in the VA and coming from the VA myself, and you know what most of the talk was I was in middle management within the VA, but our talk in our staff meetings, and you want to know what half the talk was in our meetings, was about the bonuses. That's mostly what they talked about in those meetings, is how to get them bonuses every year. Hey, we got to do this to get our bonus. Because we don't do this and we don't get our bonus, the director don't get her bonus. So we have to do our part right to get ours, so the director can get her bonus. And it's not about taking care of the veterans, make sure the veterans, taken care of properly. They got heat in the building, they got blankets and they got this and they got food to eat, and, they're not out freezing out on the bench at night, stuff like that. They're just worried about their bonus. And that's how it works in the VA.
Right. And
all these meetings after meetings, it's about the bonus.
And there's already so much distrust between veterans and the VA as it is.
Sure.
Sure. I still, since moving back to Texas, I still have not re-registered for the VA here.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I understand.
I don't want to die. I don't want to go there for a hangnail treatment and end up fucking with my leg amputated.
Cutting the wrong leg off. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind and the audience mind.
It's already been blown
I got
5
two
times.
things. Well, there's more. There's more
Oh
coming.
my God.
Now, when I was a police lieutenant for the VA, okay, so I was a supervisor, okay. Now, what I learned in meetings with some of these upper echelon meetings with these directors and things of that nature, when the OEF program, when they started that program, a number of years ago, well, there is a box in there that most of your providers that they would check off, that would declare a lot of these vets classified as a suicide risk, we'll call it, okay? Whether you are or not, doesn't matter. You did, you may have tried, you didn't, but whatever. The case is, you are classified as a suicide risk. And the reason I'm telling you this in your audience is they need to know this and understand this fully and completely, because I want to give you an example. All right, say you register your local VA, okay? You're a Afghanistan vet, okay?
Yeah.
You get discharged, you're enrolling for VA benefits. They put you in the OEF program. Well, that provider is going to check that little box, suicide risk. And that's just what they're told to do, okay? Whether you are or not. They may ask you something, they may not ask you. I don't know, I'm not in the room. But there is a box that they check. And the reason why I'm telling you this is, say that veteran 3 months from that appointment when they enroll, they're going down to their local VA for maybe a lab work or an EKG or something, some kind of minor appointment, okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's say they forget that appointment, it gets lost in the mail, or they forget it and they miss the appointment, okay? That provider, at the end of the day, is going to go through his missed appointments, and he's going to see Joe Smith. Oh, Joe Smith's an OEF vet. Oh, but Joe Smith is a suicide risk. Oh, okay, now we got to call the police on Joe Smith because he's a suicide risk and he didn't show up for his appointment. Something might be wrong. So guess who's going to Joe Smith's house? Take a guess.
The cops?
The police.
Yeah.
That's right. And they're going to go to his house and they're going to check on him. Normally 99% of the time he's okay, he missed his appointment, forgot about it and all that, But they're using the VA police as a method and as a tool to contact the local agencies that do that work of the VA, where they should be doing that kind of work themselves. So, and as a supervisor, when I was always there, I would always ask the provider, I said, well, I want to speak to the provider. My question to the provider is, okay, well, you're declaring this guy, he's a suicide risk, and he may have a problem, I don't know. Well, what is your intentions to do? Are you going to do a writ on the patient, or are you going to do something with it? And technically, no, because you didn't see him. You didn't lay eyes on him, so you can't write a writ. There's nothing you can do as a physician, okay? But veterans need to understand this and know this. Actually, get copies of your records, FOIA records, look at those things that are, in those little boxes, look and understand those things, because, we've had some vets, a cop show up and, then it just goes bad. And just because of, they didn't know things, and they weren't informed of things, the VA didn't tell them, about these things, and they're not told, and then they get bamboozled and stuff. And, I don't want that happening to nobody, it's not right to these guys. I don't feel that I would like, 3-4 cops banging on my door because I missed a lab appointment for some reason, because I got busy or I had to go to work or I had to go do something else. It happens. People do miss appointments. But I like your audience to, veterans, go out there and check those records, find out what's in your records. It's imperative that you do so, because I don't want to see you guys or anyone get, get an involuntary, get put up on the floor for 3 days because they missed an appointment or something, and some words were said at the front door, and I just don't want to see that, from guys, and they don't deserve that. They don't deserve it. Let's move on to the next. You want to hear something even worse? I got something even blow your mind even more. As we move along here, Babe Hines was involved in an arrest. 2 veterans were selling pills. It was about 2 years ago. Okay, as you know, it's one of the VAs are, they're they distribute pills, and that's what they do. And people get pills, and what do? Normally they go to the bus stops, and, sometimes they go trade pills, and things like that happen. Right. Well, an arrest was made down there about 2 years ago, and we had some junior people. I was not involved there. I didn't come in till midnight that evening, but two veterans were arrested for sales and distribution and possession for controlled, narcotics, Schedule 1 opioids. One of them was brought in. He was handcuffed in the front, which you shouldn't do in the first place. He was left in a room by himself with his backpack, with his pill bottle. So one of our folks had left him by himself in the room. So what this guy goes and does, and he handcuffed in the front, he reaches inside his pill bottle, gets in his backpack, gets the bottle out, and downs about 50, whatever he had in there, his narcotics, just eats the whole bottle and chases it with a bottle of Wild Turkey. So he's sitting there, and about 20 minutes later, he falls out of the chair and goes into a coma.
I mean...
Right? And then they're trying to figure out what happened to him. So I come to work at 6 p.m. I come to work, and I told my shift and my people I supervise, I said, stay away from this one. This one's pretty bad here. This one's got, lawsuit pretty much written all over it. So just go away and do your thing and disappear.
Yeah.
Well, it turned out that this guy was put up in a coma for 2 months, or not 2 months, 2 weeks. He was up there in a coma because of the overdose in police custody. In their custody and control, he was allowed to overdose. Not only that, I was sitting in my office that evening, about 6-7 hours later, another police officer, points out to me and says, "Hey, Rob, hey, there's a backpack sitting in the hallway out there. I don't know what it is." I said, "Well, go get it and bring it in here." It was another bag of drugs. They left it out there. And I said, okay. So I grabbed it and secured it. And, any cop would could tell you in Police 101, chain of custody is very important. In any case you have is chain of custody. So I went to my boss the next morning. I said, "Hey, listen, that case you had with the guy overdosed, and he's up in a coma right now. Whoever you had run this case, they just screwed it all up because they broke the chain of custody." I said, "I have it where it should be locked up in an evidence locker. I'm holding it right here. It should be, you need to add me to the chain of custody." Well, they never did. They still kept the report. They never added anything, and they still prosecuted this guy. So as a whistleblower myself, I went to the state attorney, myself and some others, and reported this as well, and telling them that, listen, this guy should have never been prosecuted. Due to their negligence in that police department at Bay Pines, this guy was allowed to almost kill himself in their care, control, and custody. This should have never happened. And especially leaving evidence out like that. Left all the drugs out there laying in the hallway. And that's the way they operate down there. Same director. And these people, as I say again, there's no oversight for these things. There is zero oversight. Now, I can't say for other VAs. I don't know how they work, but I know a lot of employees down there at Bay Pines they're good employees. I know a lot of them, they're good. I'm not painting everything down there with a wide brush, It's just at your management level, it gets this is the stuff that happens like this. They allow these things to happen. They promote incompetence, is what I'm saying. These things happen. People get promoted. They're not ready for the promotions only because they go along with the program, and they don't report things. And this is how it works in the VA. In the military, they call it F up, move up. Remember that term?
Yep.
Yeah.
F up, move up, and that's how it goes.
Great, Cloud. What were you going to say?
Say, Rob, it's funny that you're saying all I'm hearing all these negative things and whatnot, but yet I pull up, I Google Bay Pines quick, the VA, and Bay Pines is a 2017 recognized as a 2017 national leader in patient safety, according to their annual report.
Oh my God.
It's like page what is this, page 3 or some shit? Page 5. Again, in 2017, the Bay
Patient
Pines
safety, huh?
VA-HCS was recognized nationally as a Cornerstone Recognition Award Gold winner by the VA National Center for Patient Safety and CPS. The healthcare system was one of 115 VA facilities nationwide to receive the recognition, and one of 111 that received the Gold Award. Wait,
Yeah.
one of 111
I just don't know how they get these
115 that
awards
was
when all this
recognized.
stuff is going on.
Everybody gets a trophy.
I don't know.
The award recognizes facilities for transparent incident reporting processes and for using root cause analysis to improve healthcare delivery systems and patient safety. RCA is the process VA healthcare facilities use to improve the delivery of care by identifying prevention strategies to mitigate health care-related adverse events or close calls, quote unquote. Our professionals consistently work to deliver safe, effective, and high-quality care to veterans who choose Bay Pines as their trusted healthcare provider. The Cornerstone Achievement is the result of a culture of safety, transparency, and open communication. This was the 8th consecutive year, the healthcare system was recognized as a gold winner.
So let me give you guys a little inside information on how they do these surveys.
I got to hear this.
A
This is
lot
good.
of it is employee based.
You mean they don't interview patients?
Every so often they will, but they'll normally the only people who actually do those surveys, like when we call patients after we provide care, normally the only people who provide any sort of feedback are those who are either completely satisfied with their care or those who are completely unsatisfied, right? Never so much just like, meh, it was all right. Like I didn't die there.
This is an improvement.
Right. What can happen though is that these surveys, when they are submitted to, safest hospital award, blah, 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 they'll cherry pick things and stats and send them in. So there's that.
Yeah. I know thoracic surgery unit was shut down November last year due to several patients that died on the table. And after post-operative, for thoracic surgery, basically there was an OIG investigation and complaints that the surgeon was incompetent. And an incompetence led to 6 deaths of veterans on the table. So that's a good, safe hospital right there.
Yeah, I saw that article as well, where it was a baseless claim against the doc. Right.
And I think there's another one. I think one of our members in our group added up between 2012 to current. I think there are about $5 million in EEO payouts.
Wow.
5 million something.
EEO
I was involved
payouts?
as a witness in one of them. Yep, there are about 5 million in the last 6 years.
Equal opportunity.
Okay.
EEO, yep. One case involved my police service. They had to pay $1.3 million. One of them was a sexual harassment lawsuit. One of our managers on a female police officer, and the man is still employed today. She won $300,000, and her husband committed suicide after this.
He sexually harassed an employee, and he's still fucking there?
Still there.
Jesus.
And the girl was awarded the $300,000, and she was part of the other $1 million lawsuit in another class action. and it destroyed her marriage. I know him. They're friends of mine. I know his mother. I talk about his mother a lot. We still talk. His name was Chad. Chad, unfortunately, due to all this nonsense, he took his own life. He's a veteran also. He took his own life several years ago because of this nonsense right here. All these EEOs and him messing around with his wife and you know, giving his wife a hard time. He took his own life, yes. And that man is still working there today. So we made a promise. We made a promise to his mother that we will not stop until that man is gone from employment. We will not stop this till that man is still, and he's still working there today.
That's absolutely absurd.
It's such bullshit.
Now you know the VA has zero tolerance. Well, what the hell happened to that?
Right,
you know,
exactly.
You got to ask yourself.
Oh my God! Like my hospital, they also have a zero tolerance for sexual, harassment.
Sure.
We actually, just one of our chief nursing officer was actually quietly let go, just for a sexual harassment accusation. Nothing, as far as my knowledge, nothing was ever proven for or against it, but just the fact that someone accused him of sexual harassment,
that's bad enough.
Like on a Saturday, they pretty much told him like, "Hey, come in, clear out your office, you're done."
Yeah.
But
and this man's still working there. Hey, and I got to tell you, that's not his first one. That is not his first one. There's more. And the man is still there.
Still employed.
So, Rob, let me ask you this: is
and
the VA
like I said, it's not his first one. There's been others. Pardon me, I didn't hear you, sir.
Are VA employees GS employees? Are they government civilians?
Yes. They've got.
They're GS salary, yes. Yeah. Government.
Okay.
Yep, GS level, yes, sir.
I didn't think they could have a union.
Yes, GS. Yeah, they're represented by AFGE. It's American Federation of Government Employees.
I've never been offered such unionage.
Oh, sucks to suck, nerd.
Apparently so. But you think
you're better off without it, probably.
Well, it's a good thing.
No, it really depends where you're at with the union. It depends where you're at with the union, what facility you're at. Some are probably pretty decent, and some are really, really, really bad. Just depends where you're at and what type of relationship they have with management and how good they get along. And that's pretty much how strong or weak your union is going to be on how they interact with upper management. There's a lot of factors that play into that.
Right, and I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook Live how if you got shitty employees that you want to fire, the union will fight to protect them because it protects the union as well, and it protects the money that the union is going to get.
Well, sure,
so very interesting that they can't just fire anybody. Yeah.
And one other thing, I wanted to get to, I wanted to mention, the new everything, this whole new, that Trump signed off last year. We're going to hold higher SES level employees. We're going to hold managers accountable, and all this, all this new stuff going on. Well, guess what? I think it's been weaponized into the lower level folks, and that's what they're going after. They're going after the GS level folks. They're using that thing that was going to be held higher level. They're going to use that. They're going after the lower folks. It's been weaponized to go after the GS 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s. The use that law that was signed off. The VA Accountability Act. That's it. It slipped my mind there for a moment. That was to be held for managers and higher ups, the business directors, and all them to be held accountable. They're using that to go after lower level folks and get rid of them. And there's a report that comes out quarterly, and you can look at see what higher up managers and people like that have been fired or disciplined or removed. You don't see any of them. All you see is GS2s, GS4s, GS5s, GS6s, GS7s. I was like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be for higher level folks that are causing the problems. This is supposed to be doing that. It has the opposite effect. I don't know who's putting some in whose ear about this thing, but this thing is going the opposite way where it shouldn't go. I don't know if you guys heard about that or what.
Right, but that's incumbent upon the VA secretary to step in and start doing it and start hammering ass and removing seats.
Well, that's correct too.
Right.
You got that right. You got that right.
Justin from Facebook Live brings up a good point. And he said that, because lower levels are the typical whistleblowers. And it's almost done out of, would you say it's almost done out of retaliation that the higher GS levels are going after these guys?
Yes. I would say yes, because they go right after them.
Which,
your GS
that's
6,
illegal.
your GS 7, you have zero protection, maybe the union, and that's it. That's a union, and that little union is your protection between you, starvation, and you losing your house.
Yeah, and
it just depends.
And that retaliation,
good that union is,
though,
and most of the time you have nothing.
That retaliation goes against the Whistleblower Protection Act, which these whistleblowers should fall under.
Right. But it's not working that way for some reason. It's just not working that way. These whistleblowers are not getting the protection. I know plenty of them. I've spoke to many of them. They're just not getting any protection. They just keep going and going and going after them. Just keep piling more and more things on these folks, just to get them out the door.
Such bullshit.
And you put your career in jeopardy. You come out with something, you want to do the right thing or fix something, and your career, you put your career in jeopardy by doing this. And that's a sad fact of people want to see the right thing done, and they want to see the right things done in accordance, for the veterans, and make sure they get the right care and the right things they need. And they're coming out doing the right thing for these guys and these vets, and some of these employees, they're taking a beating. They're taking a beating nationwide. They're taking a beating on these things by coming out and saying things and trying to fix things and correcting things. And it's not right. I don't know who's in that secretary's ear or what they're saying to him. I just don't know. I wish, some of us here can get in his ear and say, hey, listen, it's going the wrong way. Turn it around, because the lower people are getting screwed here. We're the ones coming out fixing the things, saving you money, saving these guys. We're the ones that are we're the line employees here, We're the ones hands-on with these patients. We see the bad things that are going on. We're putting the corrections out there. We're putting pen to paper, making the things right. And you're coming at us, because you got an employer there. You got a manager who's been there 30 years, and it's like that old saying, that old book, don't move my cheese, and we're the ones that taking the risk by, for the veteran, for their sake. And that's what you're there for. And, and most of these people forget what you're there for. You're there for the veteran, and these people forget that stuff. These upper level managers, they forget that.
Yep. To Justin's point in Facebook Live, some states fall under a right to work. However, this is the GS system and the federal employment system. So usually once you have tenure, i.e., you're at 2 years or more, once you're through your probationary period, it takes a hot minute to get you fired.
Yeah, it sure does. I think it's after 3 years you can become career conditional, my understanding. But it does take a lot to get you, though. But what they do is, I'll tell you, typically, not one specific incident is going to get you fired. What they're going to do is, management, what they're going to do, they're going to sit on it. They're going to sit on things. They're just going to have their little folder, oh, you did this, oh, you did this. And then I've seen these things go up to about 2-3 years before they got a pile of stuff in a folder somewhere on somebody. Then they turn around and go to HR with it and say, look, I got 3 years of stuff with this guy. Didn't do this, was late here, was late there, was late this, and get a bad review and this and that. And then they throw it at them and say, here you go, you're gone. That's how they do it. They stockpile stuff on people, and that's how it's done. Seen it done myself plenty of times.
And the problem is if you don't have a good HR, a strong HR, they'll walk over them with that, because there is protocol for that as well.
Oh, sure there is. You have progressive discipline. know what they're doing, and can put a stop to these managers and say, hey, listen, no, what he did is this right here. So it needs to remain that, and it needs to end right there. It does not need to continue and continue and continue and continue for months until you feel you have enough to get rid of somebody. And when that happens, then you got the whole management team and the HRLR folks, and they're all in cahoots with each other. That's what happens.
Yep.
When that stuff happens, you got everyone in cahoots with each other.
It's just, absolutely terrible. Well, Rob, it is getting close to break time. Thank you so much for coming on the show and really exposing what's been going on down at Bay Pines VA Center.
There's more. If you ever had to come back if you need me again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think we are definitely going to have you back because this obviously
there's 20 more.
This hour was not enough. Thank you so much for coming on.
But no, my pleasure. I'm glad. And I just want to get the word out,
Yeah.
Because that's, protect yourselves, get your records, get copies of it. Make sure you know what you're going into when you walk into them VAs. Make sure you know what you got going on.
Yeah.
Make sure you got copies of your records and you know exactly what's going on with yourself before you get in there and get wound up, before you get wound up in something you don't want to be, involved with.
Yeah.
Get copies of it and know what you're doing.
Definitely. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone,
I appreciate it. Again, thank you, and have a good evening.
We'll be back after this break. So, yeah, everyone, go get a drink or something. We'll be right back.
Basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hungry for another taste. You stumble around the time you waste, and your table's overturned. Sooner or later you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. And are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die tomorrow. I'm out of time, and I'm out of my mind. The simple ways come and go. Still I love the way you turn me on. But I just can't find the words. 'Cause everything I say sounds so absurd. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Tired of being with me. I think I So will you come and breathe with me? Think I wanna live tomorrow. But I wanna be with me. Think I wanna live tomorrow. There's a Valentine and I'm out of my mind. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you need. I don't care about my heart. Just instead of watching bleed. I don't wish upon a star. 'Cause I don't care who you are. There's a Valentine and I'm out of my mind. You can't save me if I can't save me. And you won't follow if I keep falling in. And you won't listen to what I'm saying. 'Cause I'm so broke.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Cartman! Duh!
Welcome back to Tied Up Tuesday. We are on our third and final hour. Hello, 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 hello. That was a freaking good interview. That was a fast hour too. Oh my god.
Yeah, the nation was quite impressed with that interview, and there was a lot of stuff he covered that was not out there. And I was pulling up some of the news articles while he was talking about it, and just some of the shit that went down at that one VA, and it's systemic. There's more than just that one VA hospital with these issues.
Oh yeah.
And what he was alluding to is, how do we fire those that are responsible for this? And it's a hard point, and it's something that has to be tackled at levels well above the pay grades he's talking about. But it takes time, and what I hate to say is that one vet is going to take it to his own hands, maybe, and that'll be the end of it. But something's got to give, and something's got to get fixed, and in a hurry. But we'll never know. So, but yes, I saw it earlier. Yes, Alex, we're gonna try and lighten the mood in this last hour because shenanigans be had. There's news to talk about and other fun items to cover.
Hell yeah.
Dude. What?
Ugh. Fucking, we are no longer part of the Human Rights Council.
I saw that. I've got that article pulled up. Is that where you want to go to first?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's huge.
Huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Because, everyone's going to see it and be like, oh, Human Rights Council. Oh no, why aren't we part of it? And there's a good reason, and that is chronic bias against Israel. And our freaking amazing UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, told them last year, like, hey, if you guys don't get your shit together and start treating Israel with some respect, god damn it, we're fucking out of here. And she's making good on her fucking promise, I guess, would you call it, or a threat?
Yeah. No, good on her promise.
So Her announcement makes good on repeated threats. Oh, they say it's a threat in this article. Whatever. To leave the 47-member body that Haley slammed as hypocritical and self-serving. For too long, the Human Rights Council has been a protector of human rights abusers and a cesspool of political bias, Haley said, according to remarks prepared for delivery, adding that the essential reforms that would have ensured continued U.S. participation had not, in fact, been achieved. Therefore, as we said we would do a year ago if we did not see any progress, the United States is officially withdrawing from the UN Human Rights Council. So her announcement comes just a day after the UN's top human rights official, Zeid Ra'ad al-Hussein, criticized the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy that has resulted in the separation of nearly 2,000 children from their parents at the border, which we talked about in the first hour, being that they're simply just enforcing the law that has been there.
Yes.
That zero tolerance immigration policy and law has been in place since 1997.
Yeah. Who was that again?
Bill Clinton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's just that this administration and this attorney general are actually upholding it to the letter. Because that's what you do with laws. You follow them. Like, you know, I'll fucking admit it. My registration on my car is definitely like expired.
That's bad.
Like, and when I say expired, it's fucking expired. Like maybe longer than 6 months. Maybe longer than a year as well.
Wow.
Fucking whatever.
Sure, let's go with that.
No, like, fucking, was I aware that it was expired? Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm aware. I've only gotten pulled over once, knocked on wood. Because of it. And like when, you know, I know it's against the law. I know there's a law that says, hey, you need to register your vehicle. So when I got pulled over, I was not a douchebag to the cop when he pulled me over. He's like, you know why I pulled you over? I can guess. He's like, you're aware that your registration's expired? Yes, sir, I am.
Oh.
Why haven't you gotten it fixed? I don't know.
I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time to register their vehicle.
We got time for that.
What the fuck is this? Fucking communist China? No. I have the freedom to not follow the rules. But, that also means that I have to pay the consequences when I get caught not following the rules, which I'm doing. I have a court date not this Friday, but next Friday.
Oh, how convenient. So yeah.
But I've started because he got mad. The cop was like, "Why do you still have an Arizona license? How long have you been living in Texas?" And I'm like, shit. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm being yelled at by my doc. It's been I have to go get my vehicle inspected still. I don't fucking know. I'm working. Fucking, but I didn't know my doc was still watching. Fuck. But no, okay, so I have to So the cop was like, why do you still have an Arizona license? I'm like, oh, I'm in the middle of a divorce and I'm waiting to get my new social security card because I don't want to have to fucking, go through that shabacle more than once. And he started laughing. He was really nice about it. I found out he's a guardsman. He's a Chinook pilot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we were
Did you
talking.
get a date?
No, I did. I did have my like anti-cop stickers on the back of my car that say U.S. veteran.
Mm.
And then another one being the War Horses for Veterans, but like sticker. I've got that on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it says on my license, veteran. Yay! Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, we were talking about that, and he's like, you really need to, get this changed. I'm like, I'm waiting on my social security card. I'm sorry. Which I just got. So now I'm like legally back to my maiden name, right? But now, yes, don't you fucking air quote me. I saw that. But yeah, so I've got my new social security card. So now I just have to go to the DMV to get a Texas license.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to figure out when I can do that. Because I'm flying Friday. I'm going up to War Horses for Veterans. And my ticket is in my married name, and so if my ID shows not my married name, they're gonna be like, "This isn't you," So I'm like, well, so, but yeah. So I think next week I'm gonna see if I can show up late to work one day so I can be at the DMV, like, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like, I'm ready for a new license, and so I can be legal.
Mm-hmm.
But, I fucking know that there's consequences for breaking the rules, and I was breaking rules, and so now I have to, deal with that.
Terrible.
My dad's watching now, too. Hi, Dad! I'm such a freaking rule breaker.
What? No,
Yeah,
not Minx.
I am. I'll admit it. I don't know. I have to test the boundaries. I have to see where they are. And then, yeah.
Go to Space Force or go to jail.
Ari, I'm going to get the extra security treatment from the TSA. Probably. Yeah. I normally always am because my jeans have like freaking sparkles on the butt pockets. See, my dad knows. Rule breaker? Me? No. Ugh. True story. Dude, these comments are hilarious. Been married for 11 years and our 17-year relationship, and my wife's family still writes her checks to her maiden name. Wishful thinking on their part? I mean, maybe, Justin. We don't know. We can find out, though.
No.
But yeah, sparkly butt, aka Miss Me jeans, are not for planes. I agree, Spanky, but they're the only jeans I have because they make my butt look super good. And so yeah, no, literally, I get patted down every time I go through airport security.
Mm-hmm.
My doc's totally calling me out. They stay open till 5. What? Dude, I get tired after work. I come home and I take a nap because I'm able to.
Be productive.
No, I'm productive all day at work.
No, you said you're grounded in your room.
Yeah,
at work.
On Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
What? No, dresses suck, Owl. Although I say that, but then, I normally broadcast not wearing pants. So I may as well just be in a dress, right?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Let's just go with that.
Wow, this conversation went.
This is good. Is this lighthearted enough for everybody?
I hope so.
Fuck. We were talking about the U.S. leaving the UN Human Rights Council, but sure, let's talk about Minx's bedazzled butt.
Well, do you bedazzle your own pants?
No, they come bedazzled.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, at least you're not adding more bedazzled to them.
Yeah, no, they come pre-bedazzled. And I'm actually going to stop by the store, I think, tomorrow on my way home from work.
Instead of going to the DMV?
Yeah, because otherwise they're going to put a fucking hole punch in my fucking ID in, like, my driver's license. And then they're going to be like, this is invalid. We cannot use this for you to get through airport security. I'm flying on Friday. I still haven't packed, by the way.
Do you have a passport?
I do.
You know passport's a valid form of ID, right, for air travel?
Yes.
Just saying.
You're not my dad!
Just saying.
I hate all of you guys so much right now. You're
Why?
making me, like, hold myself accountable, and I'm not liking this. You're making me a responsible adult. No, my passport is not expired. Dick. It was, but then I got a new one.
Oh, well, see, you had time for that.
Well, yeah, I got it fucking a year and a half ago.
Were you not working as hard then?
No.
No.
I was on part-time. Yeah. Or I was on per diem, so as needed. So I pretty much only worked on, like, Mondays and Tuesdays consistently.
So you had all kinds of time to...
So then I had the rest of the week to freaking do what I, like, slack off. And just take my time doing shit.
Don't
judge me.
Thanks.
Asshole.
Casey says bringing your divorce papers can work too.
As a valid form of ID? No, they don't.
No, for the name change support.
Oh, well, yeah, I know that. But
Well, there you go. See, look.
I have to get a Texas license.
What's wrong with that?
It takes time.
It takes time. If your doc is still listening, you should give her time to go get her license.
I only work with him on Mondays. He has no control over me the rest of the week.
Oh, well, I guess he'll not let you come in and work on Monday then until you got a new license.
Right? Oh. No, I'm on call Monday.
Oh, see, there you go then. Plenty of time.
On Monday?
Yeah.
I'm on call. So if
Right.
there's...
Right.
Wait, then it's a private room served to the TSA and it's extra charge. Oh, goodness.
Wait, hold on. Who's getting the extra charge?
Right? I don't know. Me or them?
let's define who's paying who here for the extra charge.
I have questions.
That would be impressive.
They go 2 fingers if you ask nicely. Oh, goodness.
Wow. Alrighty then.
That's my doc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing at this point.
Right? I've never been charged to get felt up by the TSA either. Right? No one's ever paid me for that. But, like, normally, though, every time I go through and they're like, oh, we have to do, like, we got to pat you down. Do you want to go into a back room or whatever? I always decline that. I hear what goes on in that back room. They probably have a black leather sofa. I've seen those instructional videos. nuh-uh, not today. So I normally am just like, no, it's fine. You can, do what you got to do out here in the open. I don't mind. So, get felt up in front of everybody. And then at times I'm like, I wonder if there's any voyeurs here at the airport right now who are getting super turned on that I'm being felt up right now. And I normally just stand there with my hands behind my head. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
They frown upon it when you put some pressure on the back of their head.
What?
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned. Well, that's good to know that it's frowned upon.
Yeah, you can have your hands up like this, right behind the back of your head, and just sit there and enjoy it. But when you start moaning and reach down and grab the back of their head and pull it closer towards you, that's when they're like, no, ma'am, you need to stop.
Just wait till you find the one that slips you her number. Just saying.
Spanky's over here saying they do not frown upon it when you moan slightly. The ones I have, Dad. Where I'm like, oh, yeah. And they're like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I thought you were enjoying yourself down there.
Well, I do. I get red a lot. That's what happens when you're super pale. True story.
Oh, God.
Hey, guys. I really hope my dad's not still listening.
Oh, he'll probably chime in here in a second now. Watch.
Probably. Sorry, Dad. He's so disappointed in me.
No.
A little. Oh, it's fine.
It's fine.
Anywho, we digressed a lot.
A little bit.
So going back to the UN Human Rights Council.
Yes, Human Rights Council.
Fuck my life. The Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin. Tweeted.
Really?
Yeah. Tweeted his thanks to the Trump administration for withdrawing from the so-called Human Rights Council. Instead of dealing with regimes that systematically violate human rights, the UNHRC obsessively focuses on Israel, the one genuine democracy in the Middle East, Israeli Prime Minister said. Haley criticized the body as recently as March for its treatment of Israel. When the Human Rights Council treats Israel worse than North Korea, Iran, and Syria, it is the council itself that is foolish and unworthy of its name. It is time for the countries who know better to demand change, Haley said, and a statement at the time pointed to the council's adoption of 5 resolutions condemning Israel for its posture towards Palestine. The United States continues to evaluate our membership in the HRC. Our patience is not unlimited.
So here's my take on this, right? So they want to slam the shit that's going on in the stupid border against the U.S., right? And then obviously Israel always gets drug into this mix because they're an ally of ours. But yet, look at all the other stuff that's going around in the globe for human rights violations, or all this other shit that happens. And you've called it out several times on the show before, is why aren't these feminists going in and fighting for these rights of women in other nations?
Because they don't care. They're not true feminists. They're not.
Right. So I agree with Haley's point. Let's fucking to continue with your train of thought. Let's pull out and be done.
That's what she said.
Bingo. But yeah, I mean, it's so much double talk at the UN. And there was a comment in the Facebook Live earlier. The UN is outdated and doesn't really accomplish fucking jack or shit anymore. It truly doesn't. I mean, look at it. The sanctions that have happened, what have they ever really accomplished? Fucking nothing.
Right. Oh my God. So that just brings up, Dave Chappelle now. And, right, did you ever watch Dave Chappelle? I don't know. You're old.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I went there.
Sometimes I watch David Chappelle, yes.
Because all that, this whole debacle reminds me of Black Bush. Right?
What?
No, dude, how have you not seen that episode?
Apparently I have not.
Okay, so Dave Chappelle is doing a sketch, right? And he's Bush, but, since he's black, it's Black Bush. It's fucking hilarious. You need to watch it. Anywho, so he goes up there and he gets up to the podium and he's threatening the UN. He's like, why don't you sanction me? Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait, you don't have an army. Ari gets it. But it's true. UN doesn't have an army. The fuck is the UN gonna do? Nothing. We're gonna sanction you. Are you?
Yeah. What's that accomplished?
Nothing.
Fucking nothing. Iran still gets shit. North Korea obviously still gets shit.
Yeah.
Even when we sanction them, I mean, they still get shit. So what do sanctions really do? Fucking nothing.
Yeah. Not a damn thing.
But God, it's a waste.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this is a good decision by the U.S., by the POTUS, and by Ambassador Haley. Yeah.
Blue helmets make easy targets.
Maybe.
You're not wrong. It does stand out.
Yes, but they're supposed to be peacekeepers.
I mean, in theory. Peacekeepers with weapons, right?
See if they actually ever carry weapons. So I don't think we should expel the UN out of the U.S., Alex. However, yes, I think we should withdraw completely. I mean, be done with everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay, so check that. The one good thing is the UN Security Council. We are a permanent member on that council, along with so it's us and 4 other nations that are permanent members of that council. And that's where a lot of the non-proliferation shit comes in and whatnot, and keeping those nukes out of hands that should not have people that should not have them and whatnot. But the veto power we have does a lot when Russia and China want to propose a bill that we don't like, and we're like, fucking veto. Permanent veto power is what we have. And it's happened to us as well when we wanted to impose sanctions on somebody like Iran. And the Security Council said, I think it was Russia that actually used their veto to oust us. Mm. But so it's good and it's bad. That would probably be the only thing I'd want us to stay a member of, if that makes any sense.
The Security Council?
Yep. Because that veto power we hold on that council to protect other items that are important. Mm. But yeah, that's the one I actually feel about, because there's a lot of important things that can be done in that council. And again, like I said, with that us being a permanent member of the council and having that veto power gives us some leverage.
Right. Larry, why are you going to the ER? I have questions. Mostly
yes.
just
Why are you listening to us?
no, not why are you listening to us? You should always listen to us.
Yes.
No.
However, he's on his way to the ER.
Yes, I want to know why.
That should be his focus, is to get to the ER.
Well, obviously we're distracting him though. So
Well,
if he's in pain, obviously we're helping. I hope everything is okay, Larry.
Yes.
Is it O'Brien? That's a different. Is it O'Brien?
Yes.
O'Brien?
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 But he does agree, defund NATO.
Right? Dude, how you gonna say you're going to the ER and then you're like, yeah, defund NATO? Dude, I hope you're okay.
Yeah,
right?
Are you driving?
Yeah. No, seriously though, drink water, take Motrin, change your socks, walk it off.
Yep.
Like, obviously, if you're bleeding, put a tampon in it. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Or a tourniquet.
Yeah, a tampon. It'll work. Or you can wait, stop. Or if you have time to run to like Walmart or whatever and get one of those like Diva cups, you can like kind of force that in there. It will hold more blood than a tampon. Oh, he's stung by a bee. Having a reaction. I'll be all good. Okay, then forget the tampon.
It's just the bee sting. It's
right?
Some swelling.
Take Benadryl. No, it'll help.
You say that.
No, it does. Also, Larry, where is your EpiPen?
Yeah.
Just twist. Oh my God. Okay, so I do have another story from work that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I was gonna be a petty asshole today.
No, come on.
Yeah. Because I fucking I do what I always do on Tuesdays, like after a big joint case. And apparently, oh my God, whoever was in decon fucked it up and like washed some of the shit down the drain. Like non-disposable instruments are now gone because they went down the drain.
How did they go down the drain?
Because this person's an idiot, obviously, and just took the bucket and was like, doo-doo, dumped it into the sink. It's like, God.
How big is the drain on this sink?
I don't know. I don't work there.
You work at the hospital.
Well, I don't work in decon.
What? Okay. Continue.
God. So then like someone sought me out and was like, you need to do this from now on. And so I was going to be a petty, straight up cunt. And just be like, oh, okay. And like really just be obnoxious about it and like fucking send shit back on like 5 different goddamn tables. Like, oh, okay, you want me to separate this shit? Fine. You fucking got it. Like, I got pissed. I'm like, this is not my fault that you are fucking incompetent. But okay. You want to play games? Let's play fucking games. However, I left work today before I could do that. But then, my second case today, this dude had a cyst zit thingy on his back. Yes, you already know where I'm going with this.
Yes. Why?
I did not pop it. My doctor did. And it was so good. It was so satisfying. And then like, but before he got that one, I got a huge blackhead that was like right above it. I was like, oh, y'all, I'm so bad. Like, I'm such a picker, so bad. Like when I was married, and like if my husband ever had anything on his back, I'd like pretty much like force him on his stomach. I'm like, hold still. Like, it bothers the shit out of me. I have to get it. I do. It's like, it's almost like OCD. I have to get it.
You have to get it.
I do. And like, I get it. If any of my patients come in with like blackheads or whatever, or like, you know, anywhere on their body, and if I see it, I have to get it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel better about yourself now?
I do. Oh my God. Yeah. No, like I've even had this one chick who had one. I did a C-section on her. She was awake, mind you. And she had this huge one on her stomach. And I was like, oh. So I'm like applying dressings and I see this and I'm like, oh my God. And so like I just kind of start like picking at it a little with my my finger. And like I'm wearing gloves and everything, right? So it's not like getting under my nails because that's gross. At least I'm using gloves. But I'd like start getting this and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And so the nurse asked me like, what are you doing? I was like, she's got something on her stomach. I don't know. Like trying to play dumb. And the patient was like, oh yeah, that like I get stuff out of there and it always comes back. And I was like, do you mind if I get it? And she's like, no, go for it. I can't feel anything. I was like, yes. So then
that's terrible.
So then I got a pair of forceps and I'm like, come here. Oh, this huge blackhead. Oh my God. But then I got it all out and it was so satisfying. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, so much better. I don't know why. It literally is. It's like OCD for me. Like I have to get them. And if I don't, like that's all I can focus on is like, there's something there. There's something there. I have to get it. I have to get it.
It's wrong on so many levels.
What?
Just
everyone's telling me I need to seek help. But
maybe.
Yeah, no, you know, Dr. Pimple Popper on YouTube and freaking Instagram and Facebook.
Follow that person.
Oh, so much. I love her. It's oh my God, I can watch those videos all day, every day. They're relaxing. I think one of the, I've actually, like, I've shared a few on my Facebook page because I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I know for a fact I'm not the only one. I actually have a few friends that I work with who are also like, they have, like, you know, they're like me. We're pickers and poppers and stuff. And but like I tagged them in this and I'm like, look at this shit. It was a 15.5-minute video of freaking expressing blackheads. And I sat there, I watched it at least 5 times.
Ugh.
Oh my God, it's so satisfying. But no, one of my work friends, she likes watching videos of like people cleaning out ears. It's like getting earwax out.
What's wrong with you medical people?
And then she also likes watching videos of like tonsil stones. Yeah. Oh, speaking of tonsils, I get to remove some of those tomorrow. I do like Game of Thrones horses and exploding cystic acne. You are not wrong. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I have a real story.
Oh, okay.
Real story now.
We digest.
So I know it's a it's a culture out there, and we've talked about it a couple times on the show, only because of guests we've had and personal accounts from you. Michigan woman who lied about being raped on college campus sentenced to jail.
Good. She needs to be.
A Michigan woman who lied about being raped on her college campus was sentenced to jail time on Monday. Mary Zaleski, 21, was sentenced to 45 days in jail after pleading guilty to fabricating a story about being sexually assaulted in a parking lot at a Delta college in Bay County, ML Live reported. Judge
only
Joseph.
45 days?
Huh?
I said only 45 days?
Only 45 days.
That's stupid. She deserves at least a few years.
Judge Joseph Shireen, who also ordered the woman receive mental health assessment, did not give Zalewski credit for previous time served. Shireen deferred the woman to an additional 220 days in jail, which she'll only have to serve if she violates probation, according to the news outlet. She will be on probation for 2 years after her jail term. Zalewski will also have to be tested for drugs and alcohol and partake in substance abuse counseling.
I'm glad she's going to jail. Because honestly, these fucking heifers are coming out in droves, right? With this whole pound me too movement, and trying to jump on this sexual assault bandwagon almost, which, having gone through that more times than I want to fucking admit, that's not a fucking bandwagon you want to jump on. Claiming to be raped or sexually assaulted, it's not a fun thing to go through. It's fucking not. So I don't understand this culture of almost victimhood, trying to find a reason to be a goddamn victim. Again, that's not a bandwagon you want to fucking be a part of. So
right.
why the fuck anyone would willingly be like, oh yeah, no, I'm a victim of this. If they're fucking not, then all they're doing is trying to vie for attention and trying to friggin' take advantage of a system that is almost overly prosecuting because of this whole Me Too movement.
Yep. I agree with Justin's comment. I think the sentence should carry the same weight.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It absolutely should. Because it ruins the life of the person that is accused of actually doing this, especially if they did nothing wrong.
Yep. And they'll never get out from that cloud no matter what.
And again, this goes back to these fake feminists who are all about man bashing and man hating and how they can fucking tear apart and pick apart men. They're ruining the feminist movement. Feminism is all about equality. That's it. Not about man bashing, not about man hating. It's not fucking feminism.
Nope. Maybe she'll be taught an important lesson in jail.
Dude, 45 days is not enough at all. It's not enough.
Well, that's not the lesson I meant.
Oh. I mean, I only wish rape on rapists and child molesters someone just trying to jump on a bandwagon. I don't wish anything on them. Except, fucking learn your lesson. Don't be a cunt.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So, you want to do housekeeping?
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, Nation. As you know, we have a show every night of the week almost. Tonight, it's myself and my lovely co-host, Minx. Say hello, Minx.
Hello. Hello, Minx.
Smart ass. For Tied Up Tuesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is our Donza. Spanky, if you're listening. Where we really don't do anything. We usually play video games, and you can also check out our WTF Nation gaming site. Being ran still, and that's always a good time on there. And then we roll into Thursdays with Sergeant Times with Ice and guys from the main page. And they're dealing with all things active duty and current issues facing them. Then it's Friday night, Friday Night Freedom. Wow. With Minx and Pookie.
Except, wait, let me pause you right there. There is no, or at least if there is a Friday show, it is not me. I will be up in Stillwell, Kansas at War Horses for Veterans.
Oh, I thought you had a court date.
No, that's next Friday.
Oh, next Friday. Okay.
And next Friday, I'm also going to be driving to Casa de Red Leg.
Uh-huh.
So.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah. And the Friday after that.
And the. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
a bitch needs a day off.
Man.
Shut up.
Anyways, so it's Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Pookie. Most times. And they're talking all things, current events and whatnot. And then we roll into Saturday Night Savagery, and that's Jay Reddy and Pookie. And I say this every week, Nation, just tune in for that show. You will not be disappointed. And then we roll into Sunday, and it's that show is Kicking It with Kaz and Owl. And again, covering current events, a little more laid back with some of the issues. And then we roll into Monday night, the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. Current events, active duty vet issues, and so on and so forth. And then it's right back to us on Tuesdays. And according to my sheet, we have no upcoming guests. Is this correct?
Correct. Right now, anyways.
Yeah. So, Nation, that's our lineup. No upcoming guests. Minx, back to you.
All right. So really quickly, I don't have a picture of it to show, but apparently someone bought a billboard in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's along the I-40, so it's along the Panhandle, so northern Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, oh my God, it's fucking hilarious. It says, in large letters, liberals, please continue on I-40 until you have left our great state of Texas. We need those everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Up and down the 35, all around the 10, the 20, all over Austin. Like, go back away. Like, go back to whence you came.
Oh, wow. I just saw a photo of it.
It's fucking great, isn't it?
That's pretty awesome.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I had a great time with you. Yeah. Again, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We will see you Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. Thursday is next.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Have a great rest of your night, you guys. Bye.
Yep. Good night, Nation.
Yourself that everything's gonna be alright. Can you feel that? There's a fire burning deep inside. Take the chance. say everything's gonna be okay. Can you see that there's not a thing that you can change? Forget the shame, stop taking the blame, and leave who you are behind. Who you are behind. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Be who you are and don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. Don't give up now, you've got to seize this moment. You've got to seize this moment. Find the strength within yourself. You've got to seize this moment. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun, because that's how this game called life can be won. You've got all you need, it's right in front of you. The time is now and this is your moment. Just follow your own light, find your place in the sun. Be who you are, don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. The time is now and